also do a lot with during these times.
Yes, they do.
Speaking about barometric pressure, it's also been proven to intensify the energy of charged particles in the air. Now, it's the result of molecules in the air colliding. This collision of molecules in the air produces the electromagnetic energy. Now, of course, and you would be detecting that with all your little meters and stuff.
Right.
Now, the higher the barometric pressure, the faster and the more intense the molecules in the air collide, producing more electromagnetic energy for the spirits to draw from and to use.
Well, humidity, it's the measurement of water vapor within the air.
And we know about that too here in the third floor during the summer.
Way too much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when water changes its physical state from one to another, energy is involved. Water vapor itself has a high energetic state. Now, energy is absorbed during evaporation and released during condensation.
And we know about the condensation.
Oh my gosh. So the process of the water condensing into rain, it releases energy that can be used by the spirit world, which may help to explain some investigators' observations of increased paranormal activity during these times.
Yes.
Makes sense. Some of the more well-known attributes for increased paranormal phenomena would be the place's location in accordance to limestone and waterways. Now, these are both great energy conductors for the spirits to feed off of and permits them to manifest themselves in one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Rivers, lakes, and oceans are fantastic energy conductors that spirits can absorb and use readily. Now, the theory behind water is a location with the source of running water has a higher chance of odd occurrences happening because the spirits are said to draw their energy from the electromagnetic fields it produces.
Yes.
Well, running water naturally creates these electromagnetic fields, which may be why areas around running bodies of water seem to be more haunted than others.
And that's like those natural springs, because that water just keeps coming and feeding the big pools,
I've heard of a lot of places by the natural springs and rivers and creeks that have hauntings that surround those areas.
Yes, and so we should just go on a road trip and visit all these hot springs and take a dip too.
That's right. Sounds good to me.
Now, speaking of limestone, and we'll talk a little bit about limestone here, because this building sits on big old slabs of limestone, like the whole basement here is limestone, and we do get a fair amount of activity and abnormal activity in the basement. Some of which I haven't gotten anywhere else, such as the Morse code stuff.
Oh yeah, that's fascinating.
I've never gotten that any place else I've ever been.
No.
The chemical makeup of limestone is similar to that of like a magnetic recording tape, like old time when cassette tapes. Mm-hmm. Okay. And it's therefore prone to being imprinted just like your old cassette tapes, for those of you. Thus, they capture, and they store activity. Another theory behind limestone is that the chemical makeup is prone to drawing, storing, and releasing electromagnetic fields, in which, of course, the spirits can use to help, enhance activity or help them manifest in a certain vicinity. Now, limestone itself puts out quite a bit of EMF due to the dispersal of the elements, protons and neutrons, and more importantly, its electrons as it decays or deteriorates. It is this high EMF that tongue-tied. That permits an increase in orbs, vortexes, and spirit activity. If you have a building made of limestone itself, or it's sitting on a large deposit of limestone within the soil, It's actually considered to be like a magnet, drawing energy and or spirits to that location. And we are sitting on such a find right here.
Yes, we are.
So to increase your chances of experiencing paranormal phenomena, find a place near a running body of water that is close to you or on the grounds that contain limestone. That's a perfect mix for a chance at a phenomenal ghost hunting experience. And with that, folks, we will be right back with more Ghost Talk Radio. You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio. Broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
"45 minutes past the hour. You are listening to Ghost Talk Radio with me as your host, Shelly Robertson, and joining me tonight is Kristen Boyd. We are broadcasting live from the old Paulding County Jail here in Paulding, Ohio, on station WBHM, and we have been discussing the anomalies of the universe and how they are associated with the paranormal. Now, if you missed the first part of the show, you can always listen to our archive at your leisure on Spreaker, Google Play, iTunes, and iHeartRadio. We'll post the archives on our Ghost Talk Radio Facebook page. Just go to Facebook, use the search feature, and type in Ghost Talk Radio, and we'll pop right up. Now, up here, up north, I know we have listeners probably from all over the country and maybe in other countries, but up here, up north, tonight, it's a little chilly. It's actually kind of cold. Yeah. And with this cold weather coming here in the north, temperature can directly affect paranormal activity, not only in a sense of fluctuations, but in a climatic sense as well. There are many studies that suggest that there is an increase in paranormal activity during the winter months. Now, there are many theories regarding this phenomenon, ranging from superstitious to scientific, and pretty much all areas in between. Many shamans believe the veil between our world and the spirit world is thinner during the winter months, making it easier for the spirits to walk between the worlds.
That's pretty interesting.
Isn't it, though?
It is.
Now, one possible scientific explanation for cold weather intensifying paranormal activity is that The way cold air is more dense and does not have the capacity to absorb and retain as much humidity as warmer air. Now, that characteristic facilitates more charged particles being in the air. Now, this phenomenon makes for a heavier presence of static electricity in the environment. And we, with straight hair, know this fact all too well when we get that static going on in our hair during the winter.
Yep, hate that.
I hate that too. But I guess we are more prone for activity because we're walking static balls. This static electricity, as well as other forms of kinetic energy, can cause disturbances on electromagnetic and geomagnetic fields, thereby making more energy readily available for paranormal entities to use and to manifest. Now, there's a whole lot we could talk about as far as with the earth and with different things in the atmosphere. And we'll probably continue some more of this tonight. I mean, from this show on another show on a different night. I would like to take a few moments to talk about what we have been doing here at the old Paulding Jail lately and what we have coming up. So, something exciting we did last week, and it was just so much fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yes, and you had a lot of action, and we're going to hear about that.
Okay.
We were helping the Paulding High School junior class with a fundraiser. We donated our time and the use of the building. We taught a few of the kids a little bit about ghost hunting, and they ran their own ghost hunting event with our assistance. And we let them guide the hot spots for their event, and it was so much fun. And all of our resident spirits came out and joined them. I think they liked all the kids being here.
So. They were very active.
And I tell everyone, Kristen, where your location was during the fundraiser, and tell us about some of the activity you got, because we could hear it downstairs.
Oh, yes.
And people were coming in to sign in, and they were like, we want to go there. So tell us about your spot.
Well, me and two ladies from the school were on the second floor cell block, and we had the ghost box up there.
Mm-hmm.
So almost every single 30-minute session, one of our ghosts would actually say someone's name when we requested it.
Uh-huh.
Now, the first time, one of the girls' names in the group that was touring, her name was Winter. And I had asked the spirits if they could say her name. And it was shortly after the question, you could hear a female voice come through very loud and clear saying the name Winter.
Uh-huh.
And they all freaked out, but they loved it. They loved every moment of it. They also, I think one of them told the ghost peace out when the session was over, and as we were getting ready to walk out, you could hear them say peace out back.
Yeah, I remember somebody talking about that. That was pretty exciting.
You know, that was pretty funny. They chuckled a little bit over that. And then as we were walking down the stairs the one time, you could hear very loudly and very clearly one of our spirits yelled, "Come back."
Oh.
But never fear, we had plenty more groups. They said additional names. Scott was one of them that was said during another session. And the girls did so well. And they were a little nervous at first, but as they continued on, they got a little more brave each and every time.
And actually, that was the junior class.
It was.
And I think they did a great job.
I did. I do believe so too.
Learning about the building so quickly. They got their training and learning about the building in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Of course, we assisted, but they did fantastic.
They did.
A couple of them weren't so sure they believed in ghosts.
Right.
When they came. And their minds were changed when they left.
Each and every one of them.
Yeah, it was.
I believe even the teacher, right?
Yeah, and I have had a lot of comments, people saying thanks for helping the school out. But when